Imagine you, yes, you, were just crowned king of the world. How easily would you be willing to give up that role? If you're anything like me, no, I'm the king. No one's getting that crown. As humans, we all have huge egos. Unless you're the humblest monk to ever exist, you and everyone else has an ego. Let's face it, we all feel like we can do it better than everyone else. Mentally, not logically. In your mind, a decision that you feel is correct is the best possible solution, from your perspective. In your mind, you're the leader, the mastermind, the boss. But the reality is, you want control.
Whether we want to admit it or not, we would do anything for power, and I mean anything. Unfortunately, when power is given, it can be twisted and corrupted. Power allows for control, and usually when people acquire it, they are unable to withstand it, like trying to control the Infinity Stones. Power and too much of it. Hitler rose to power through the Nazi Party and established himself the dictator of Germany in 1933 after the President Hindenburg transferred his position to him. During his reign, Hitler used the power given to him and twisted it to fit his own evil desires. Hitler was a mesmerizing public speaker, a talent he used to address political meetings in Munich, calling for a new German order to replace what he saw as an incompetent and inefficient democratic regime.
Jede Institution dieses Reiches steht unter dem Befehl der obersten politischen Führung und alle Institutionen dieses Reiches sind verschworen und einig in dem Willen und Entschluss.
He used his power to control his country into a supportive class to allow him to do whatever he pleased. During his time, Hitler suspended civil liberties, passed the Enabling Act of 1933, which allowed his government to enact laws without the consent of Parliament, eliminating his opposition. Hitler is an example of power being used in a negative and inhumane way. Leaders like Hitler fall into a category of power called the God complex. The God complex is a disorder where someone rises above the rest, holding a great power, ability, and influence. The concept is often associated with someone having a narcissistic personality and or being a wrathful leader, or in this case, a god. These people will try to be very controlling of others and anything within their grasp. Because of this power, dictators are typically critical of others, thinking they know best. For example, throughout Hitler's rule, he demanded loyalty from Germans, which already went far beyond the normal reach for someone in that position. He wanted people to follow his orders without question. Hitler had a real problem with criticism and tried to only surround himself with people who praised him and did not question his authority. As humans, we have always chosen the person with the most desired traits. The people of a village will always support the strongest by giving them the resources needed to continue their lineage. This keeps the leader alive so they can lead, provide, and strive. This social hierarchy is what gives people power. The lower ranks collectively give the leader the ability to lead. These constant acts of aiding the leader allow them to provide solutions to issues in the hierarchy and try to do what is best for the people. A stellar example of humanity giving a desired person power is Martin Luther King.
I have a dream.
MLK was loved throughout the black community for his trust, dedication, and strength against oppression. The black community stood with him, and quickly hundreds of thousands of Americans began to stand with him too. MLK then became a voice of power and reason to the governments of federal and state. This power came from the small voices of oppressed people, all choosing MLK as their leader to represent them and to fight for them.
We will be able to work together, to pray together, to struggle together, to go to jail together, to stand up for freedom together, knowing that we will be free one day.
Power isn't everything, and the pull of it is stronger depending on the scenario. Power as a whole is taught to us since we are little. We hold onto the bits of it we understand and begin to form our own conception of it as we age. Children are raised to be competitive and are taught that winning is good and that it should be celebrated. Think about it. No one likes losing, but continuously winning feels off. Society says that losing is a bad thing, even though that is what builds us. The issue is 9 times out of 10 we are losing, and learning to live with that allows for reality to set in. As children grow older, they recognize and form their own rank in the social hierarchy. Believing where they stand will either push them to greater heights or discourage them, lowering their mindset and drive to fulfill their desires. This leads to growing adults highly prizing their heightened status in the social hierarchy. In an attempt to raise their place among their community, humans will often begin dedicating their own time, money, and resources to moving up this food chain in the grasp for power.
There are a lot of things that influence how we act and are. People seem to naturally fall into their role while at the same time trying to climb to the top. A person's personality correlates with how far they will go to get power. It also dictates what they will do when they get it. Typically, people with a lot of power don't know what to do with it, so they act with uncertainty, curiosity, and quote-unquote logic. Deep down, we all want to be heard, respected, and seen. That feeling of being low class or invisible is almost unbearable. Although power isn't necessary for survival, in the sense of having dominion over others, you could easily lay back and let the leader lead. Despite this, many people want power, or at the very least, control. It's ironic. We desire to be at the top, but we don't want to be pampered or overly idolized. So to answer the question, should you crave power? Yes, absolutely. You should seek power to be seen, respected, and cared about, but know that power is strong, but useful. It can be used for good, or it can be twisted and used in corrupt ways. Like holding a torch. It can be used to light your path in the forest, but if you lose your grip, a fire will spread. You are not limited to a ranking, but you must understand that no matter where you stand in an area, there are people better at it than you, and there are people worse at it than you. People are made different, and that's beautiful. How cool is it that there is only one you, and no one can do it quite like you? Live by that. Yearn for power for sure, but don't lose your grip.